impacts on our youth. And I have invited my guests for this discussion. This is on my left, sorry, on my right, this team is for the proposition of the discussion. So there are four, this topic. And on my left, this is the opposition team. So they are against the whole topic. So guys, I just want you to interact and, just have questions and comment where you're watching from, what's your take on this, whether you agree or not. And yeah, we'll just try to answer all of your guys' questions. I'm just going to let my guests introduce themselves. I'm going to start with the opposition team. You guys can just introduce yourself, tell us your name, where you guys are from, what you do. Just tell us a little bit more about yourself, man.
Hi guys and hi viewers at home. My name is Matiwa. Actually, I live in Bacon Bay and behind the Caltex. So what I actually do, I'm a bolt guy.
You're a what?
I'm a bolt guy. I'm a driver.
Oh, you're a body guy. No, man, it's fine.
I'm a bolt guy. I'm a bolt driver.
Body driver,
yeah.
okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Next.
Greetings to all at home. My name is Lihyamata Mega. I'm currently doing grade 11 at Center of Excellence High School.
And have you done, have you been on debates before?
Yes, I have. In a short period of time, I've achieved success. And to be honest, it's still the beginning for me.
All right, that's amazing. That's amazing. Ma'am, introduce yourself.
Greetings to our online viewers and everybody watching. My name is Sinobom Flatella. I'm a member at Faith Alive Bible Church. I'm an ex-officio of the Youth Alive, so I came as a guest today. My career, what I do, I'm an accounts regional manager for Eastern Cape and pharmaceutical companies. I also have part-time private practice. Thank you.
Thank you. And then on my right, introduce yourself, guys.
All right. Afternoon. Our host, yes. I'm just greeting you and the viewers at home. My name is Pelelani Deki from Mdantsane. I am the son of Faith Alive Bible Church, serving under Pastor Simpiwe and Mama Asanda Nojoko. Thank you.
Introduce yourself, baby girl.
Hello, can you hear me?
A bit louder.
Hello.
Yes, you're perfect.
Hi guys, my name's Nojoko, and I'm from East London.
All right. What are you currently doing?
I'm studying at NMU.
Okay. And your course is?
Architecture.
Okay, all right.
Greetings, family. My name is Apumele Nguku. I'm a son in this house. My discipler is Pastor Simpiwe Nojoko. What I do for a living, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm running a transport business, and I'm also in real estate as well. Thank you.
Thank you guys for introducing yourselves. So I'm not gonna really be asking you guys questions in this platform, in this topic. I'm just gonna let you guys be and, tell us why are you against social media and how it impacts us, and how it impacts the youth. And you guys will tell us why are you for the topic and why, what impact does it have on the youth. Here and there, if there are any questions from the viewers, I will let you know. And also, if I also feel like I just need to add a little bit of salt here and there, then I will also add my salt. But yes, go ahead. So, what really impacts the youth? Okay, let me start that side. What are the negative impacts? Why do you feel like it's a negative impact on the youth specifically, social media, that is?
Okay. As we can know that some of we have disadvantage and we have advantages of the social medias. So just because I'm against, I'm going to quote some of the disadvantage of the of social medias. Some people use social medias to do negative things, like, for example, some of the youth or some of the people use to killing. They can track you down through social media and kill you. Some of the people can do snacks things. I'm not going to say it, but we all know as a youth that they are doing those kind of things. Yes.
In my perspective, I see social media as some sort of a stepping stone in order for the acts of criminality to achieve their main goal, their main objectives. It has resulted in a negative impact, in my perspective, because over 6 million people, according to my research, have died because of the negative impact it has brought on people,
Yeah,
especially the youth. They have committed suicide, they have taken their lives
sure.
due to social media, due to people body shaming other people, judging.
Yeah. Okay, would you say now, is it a matter of them deciding out of pressure from what the social media brings in order that they are led to commit suicide? Or do you think it's a mental problem from what they have experienced, or is it more on like what the youth say, what the social media says that would lead them to committing suicide and etc.?
I think that depends on how the people take it. As we all know, everyone around the world is very diverse, despite the fact that we have some of those similarities. Many of those people haven't felt that kind of experience of being judged and being body shamed by the people on social media, trying to seek attention, seeking joy out of other people's misery.
Greetings again to online viewers. I think just to add on what my core in the team are saying, the perspective we see before we even get to the suicide point, we need to understand the causative factor, the underlying. We get youth, we get people that haven't been brought in families and in an environment of self-assurance, where you as a self, as a young person, you need to be reassured, given that love, given that assurance to be able to carry yourself confidently. Now you come to social media, you get exposed to these pressures of known audiences and unknown audiences. So as a first one, yes, pressure has on it, in the way that now you are following people you don't know, and unfortunately you don't even understand what they need to succumb to have those kind of appearances and looks. But that's the first point for me, just to add to what my peers are saying. However, for me, why I think social media is negative, I'm also looking from a perspective that it consumes a lot of time from the young people. We as young people, I can just ask online viewers, how many of us not me, sorry, I'm an ex-officio, but how many young people out there sleep on their Instagrams? How many people fall asleep on Facebook, etc.? These are the time we could have dedicated to prayer. These are the time we could have dedicated in meditating in the Word. These are the time we could be using to grow our entrepreneur opportunities, those who are studying to be spending time in their books. So it goes beyond just the pressures, but also the amount that it consumes, the ideas that it plants, just that in capture that it does in the young people. Thank you.
Okay. And proposition team, what do you guys have to say about this?
All right, thanks, Mimi. And greetings again to our viewers at home. From my side, I will just share a little bit about the advantages of social media.
Yes.
For instance, now we are here in this auditorium there is lockdown level 4, and we cannot reach people. The gatherings are not allowed, you see, and now we can reach people at home via the waves of the social media. That is the advantage. Now we can engage with people. You see, we've got that advantage. If the social media was not there, how could we reach those people at home? You see, that is one of the advantages that we have on social media. And you can advertise even your businesses in social media. For instance, this is the 21st century. We don't buy newspapers as young people. I've never bought a newspaper, but I've got news on my phone via social media. You see, you can gain more things, many things via social media. Yes, there are disadvantages, but there are more advantages than disadvantages of the social media. You see. Okay, let me just give to my colleagues.
All right.
And just to say, like how you were saying, how the young people are spending so much time on social media where they could be using it for something else. They could be using that time on social media researching or like looking up other information, learning what things they want to do from other different people. And the only way they can do it is through social media, because we are living through the fourth industrial revolution, which is a technological revolution. Everything's going to like AI, and just more people are interactive on social media than you can get in person. So that is an advantage as to us spending time. I myself will admit that I spend a lot of time on social media, but I learn from different people around the world. We're not just limited to physical resources. We are exposed to a multitude of different methods and ways that other people, like in America, would use to start up businesses and implement this type of stuff in whatever they're researching and stuff like that.
All right, greetings once more. So from my side, I'm more about purpose. I'm more about purpose. I'm concerned about purpose. As we all know that in the Bible, Moses was given a staff by God. He was given that rod to open seas. That rod was a tool for him to get on the other side. It was a tool for him to kind of to prosper. Now, it was dependent on Moses now how to use that tool. It was up to him. So what I'm trying to say now is that social media can be used to advance your purpose. It can be used to advance your career, your business. You know, so for me, as times are changing, we need to adapt to the times. Each and every day, things are changing. Even in the business world, even in our transport world, in our transport industry, things are changing. People were using taxis, the old way. But as time went by, e-hailing services came. So we need to adapt with the times. Yeah. We need to be people who are goal-driven, who are focused. Because once you are focused, you will know when these distractions come, they will not affect you. Why? Because you know where you are going. You know what you want. So social media, the negativities of social media will not have an effect on you because you choose to focus on the right side.
Sure.
You know, so even like radio stations, when we go to radio stations, just because you didn't tune in to that radio station doesn't mean it's not there. Yes, it's there, but you chose to not tune on it. You know, so even the effects, the negativities of social media, you don't need to tune on to those negativities. You need to focus on the positive side. You need to focus on the sides that will help you, on the sides that will help you to advance your goal, your dream.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it on my side.
I like, thank you. I love the points you guys are raising. And I mean, they absolutely make sense. We are in the fourth revolutionary industry. We are moving techno-wise. And there's many platforms these days to be used. However, I'm still of the opinion that these 3 points are based on assumption. You are all assuming that we are dealing with a youth that has been taught and trained. Now we need to look at our geographic, we need to look at our population setup as South Africa. We need to understand how many of those youth in our country have had the kind of education that you guys are narrating currently. And therefore, are we not assuming that as the youth, not Faith Alive, not East London, not Joburg, not Buffalo City, but looking at Eastern Cape rural setups, there is more of the young people, where we're talking 80%, who don't have the privilege to be taught on how to use that social media effectively, and therefore fall in the trap of the negativity, versus us assuming that everybody has been trained on the right way of utilizing social media. Thank you.
Ma'am, I really like your point. I really like your point. And as a student, it's very informative. And another thing I'd like to raise, when it comes to information, remember there is something called fake news. We are living in a world full of greed and selfishness. People try to get attention. As I've said, they seek joy in other people's misery. Despite the fact that social media has a good purpose in terms of being very informative, do you even know what kind of information that you are trying to engrave in your mind? Basically, is the information reliable or not? How do we know that? That is basically my question.
Hold that thought. There is a comment from Onwaba Stishini. Sorry if I've mentioned your surname wrong. She commented by saying, thank you for also looking on advantages, because reality of the matter, we're in the 21st century now, but we cannot run away from the fact that there is something like cyberbullying, which is on the disadvantaged side. Then she says again, also, use of social media needs people who are disciplined, because akukho everything, because akukho everything with social media. What do you think that, okay, what I'm picking up from what Onwaba is saying here is social media probably like needs someone who is going to be able to say, okay, it's either I'm taking this or not taking this. It's either I'm doing this or not doing this. But the question that I have, when someone is under pressure, you know, and they are in that tight spot where they have to decide, do I take it, do I take it? How would you guys advise, or how would you guys, you know, take that? When someone is, because she's saying that you need to be disciplined, but I'm also thinking about someone who may be in pressure and have to discipline themselves in making whatever choice that they need to.
As you just mentioned,
In
choices.
the positive and negative.
As you've just said,
Yeah.
choices. We live by choices. There's always a choice in everything we do, in every situation. It is up to you that do you want to use social media for a good purpose or not? If you want to use social media for a platform to get attention from other people, many of those people will not even care about you. They will not even regard you. They will not even put your name even on their minds in anything that they do. Do you like? It is up to you whether you want to go that direction. But keep in mind of the repercussions that you are going to face when you go that direction.
I think I like the viewer's question. Is it Konwaba?
Onwaba, yes.
Onwaba. I think I like that question because it aligns with what I've just raised. The fact that everything is there. And she's bringing the perspective that as much as it has its advantages, really, in terms of the teachings, yes, the choices are there. I fully agree with my fellow team buddy here. However, where do those choices start? Where does the teaching start? Where does the training start? Because if you've not had the foundation, social media is not going to give it to you. If you think you're going to look for reassurance, even those opportunities, entrepreneur, I'm also running a business. However, I need mentors who are going to tell me this is the right way to go about it. And again, I think being in the platform of a Christian-based youth debate, I would like to reiterate and re-emphasize that not all of us have had the privilege of a Christian teaching and a Christian foundation where you are trained and taught to make those choices. And therefore, I will say to our online viewer, it goes back to the foundation laid, it goes back to the teachings you are brought upon. That will determine the kind of choices that a person makes. Thank you.
Do you guys think someone needs to be taught to use social media?
All right. You see, I will agree with my opponent on this. Yeah, that when you are using social media and you don't have a mentor, it needs your foundation. Who raised you? How you've been raised? You see, that's when you can identify that this is wrong and this is right. You see, because most of us, even myself, I was not taught how to use social media.
But that led you to making better choices in social media.
Yes, because I know what is right, I know what is wrong. And I had to make a choice. Which flow am I going with? Am I going with the bad side? Am I going with the right side? But I chose the right side. But my advice will be that to the parents out there, when you buy your son or your daughter, a teenager, 12-year-old, I've got my siblings who are 11 years, they've got cell phones, a smartphone. Then I've got a duty to teach them, because I have to learn from my background that I was not taught this. I am self-taught. So I have to teach them that you do not do these things. You don't follow everyone, because they are 11. They can even be kidnapped, because they don't know that there are people who kidnaps people out there. You see, so I have to tell them, if you receive a message from the inbox, don't just answer. Don't just give your location. Don't just do anything to give an important information to a stranger. You see, if she is old enough and she didn't get the teaching, or she was not taught about the social media, I believe that there is an age where you can distinguish between the
Right
good and the
Okay.
bad. You see, when she is in that stage, then it's about her choice.
So your argument is someone doesn't necessarily need to be taught on with social media that this is wrong, this is right, I should follow and not follow. Your argument is that a child needs to be able to distinguish from a very young age that, okay, mom and dad would not like this, or I shouldn't go on with this. Is that what your argument is?
From the child age, there are principles at home. Every home has got its principles. Then if I know at home, when I grew up, we were taught that you do not have to lie. Then when you are lying, you know that, I'm breaking one of the principles that I've been raised with, you see. So if the parent is not sure enough about the teachings that she or he gave to his child, he has she has to teach the child how to use the social media. But if the child is well taught from the infant stage, then the parent can rest. Because the child he knows what is right and what is wrong.
I get you.
Just to reiterate on that, it's like teaching a child, like to say, like you don't speak to strangers in person, like the things that you're taught, like to go face to face with someone. You don't follow a stranger. You don't accept things from someone that you don't know. It's the same online. Like, if you don't know this person, don't talk to them. If you see like something suspicious, you don't go and dig up on it, because that could lead you into a trap. It's all about the principles and the lessons that you are taught at home that also influence the way that you are on social media. So it all comes back to how you were raised up. Like, as you were saying about something about we must like try like to talk about like the whole youth of South Africa, but I can't speak for the whole youth of South Africa because I haven't experienced what they have experienced. Like, I know I'm speaking from a place of privilege, and I'm grateful that my parents, it comes from my parents that I'm like this, and that I know how to control myself on social media. So we can't necessarily blame the youth. It always comes back to the parents.
Okay.
Yeah. So from my side, life is a harvest of choices we make each and every day. It's for our parents to teach us, but we are the people who make the choice.
Sure.
So it depends on us.
Yeah.
It entirely depends on us. If you are not rooted in whatever that you were taught at home, because I believe that life is accumulation of what you continually soak yourself into. Whatever that you focus into, whatever that you feed your mind, you become that thing. So it's just a combination of choices. Whatever you decide to do today, whatever you decide to indulge yourself in, is what will result into your future. So for me, I still maintain that we cannot just demolish social media because of just few advantages. Because even in life, whatever we make choices. Wherever we go, it's up to us to kind of take a turn. For example, let's say you were growing up from a family that's in bondages, alcohol abuse, drug abuse. It's up to you now to take a turn. That thing, we can influence your thought, the environment that you grew up into. It can influence your thoughts, but it's up to you now to change the situation. So I still believe that we cannot punish the entire youth that just because just a few is using social media in a negative way.
Okay.
Let's go to the business and marketing sector side of this. When it comes to, as I said, like when in general, like when social media impacts us, right? In a negative way, it obviously does not feel good. Some people may end up leaving social media for good due to these kind of situations. As I've said, people kill themselves due to social media. They take their lives due to social media. So wouldn't that affect the business sector because it's lowering the level of production since there is no people? As in businesses, as the CEO say, the workers are the most important assets in a business, right? So if the people kill themselves due to social media, that might impact the economy, despite the fact that it may decrease the level of unemployment, but we may lose lives. People will be moaning due to these kind of circumstances, you know. So I feel that lives are more important than businesses. when it comes to a situation like this?
Just to raise one of my point that I wanted to say. You see, when a child is growing, we need to teach the child the principles, just like AC was saying. But when the child is growing, we forget that there are things that he come across or she come across outside there. A child, when he is growing, she lives two lives. I once being a child, we all being child, once a child here. Outside, we can live a different life, but inside home, we can be a good or a decent child. We can buy them a phone and give them a phone. They can be, some of them, they can go out there and being pressured to watch something that they didn't want to watch. They can follow those things because of their friends out there. But another thing that I want to raise is that as a parents, because we are going to be parents in the future, we need to monitor what they watch, what they do in social media. Because there is a story, it's an accident that happened back home in Limpopo. A student killed herself just because of the cyberbullying. What do we learn about we know that the child, she's good. I mean, she's a good child at home. But outside there, she's bullying someone. It's a surprise to the parents that we know this child is a good child, but now she's doing what we don't know. It's up to us. I mean, it's up to us to monitor. I mean, as an elder, just like you were saying, that we need to monitor, we need to teach them. We don't need to make them to make the choice to let them make the choice, but we need to force them to make the choice. Because if we let them do, because they're still like children, and we know better than everyone about the social media, but if we let them do or we let them make their choices, we are doing nothing, to be honest.
I think to support what my team is saying here, we need to look at this in different forms. First of all, we are talking two generations here. We are talking children with an assumption that we're talking teenage below. Then we are talking the youth with an assumption that we're talking teenage plus. I don't know where youth ends, sorry. But how we view these two categories, we can't view them in one blanket. Definitely children must be monitored. I'm of the opinion that a child should have a device for school purposes only and research purposes. And I think another important element that we need to bring forth here, it's very diverse to unpack social media. I'll just name few. Personally, someone must convince me what's an advantage for TikTok. So it's all these different elements, even within social media, on how it's being utilized. We go to platforms like Instagram. Yes, we look at these glamours, some aspire to be there. But can you really reach to that celebrity and conversate with them, get the depth of understanding? How did they do it to be there? Again, we get different platforms that put pressure other than suicide. We've got this thing in crypto, which is this, not the Bitcoin, this network market. We've got false advertisements. Now, we're coming into the entrepreneur and economic sectors. How many of people have been the victims of such scams through the social media? Because the reality is, how can you verify the person you are engaging with? You've got two options to verify the kind of business you are engaging yourself with. It's either you're going to take a risk and put your capital and investment and let it go down if it's a wrong decision, or you wait until you've got a personal engagement with the person. There's many other things, but one of the things also is from a traditional point of view now, as I'll say it in this kind, as umntana wasezilalini ke mna, kukhona this absurd way of utilizing social media for ukuhambisa umpanga. That is the worst. way of utilizing. Now you tell me, and I think we need to understand when people do that, it's not in a negative spirit that they're doing it. You get me? It's my friend. It's my fellow sister in church, fellow brother. I've just heard of their passing. I get emotional. Now, I don't get the time to process that I should hold on before I could publicize this. What if some of the family members, it has not gotten to them to have a formality to hear about it? So these are the kind of things when I say, I like Pastor when you guys say, both the three of you said that you can't train. Yes, you can't train a person, go this way on social media, go that way. However, the foundation must be laid by teachings, because it will take the kind of foundation that you have to know that it is wrong ukubika umphanga womnyumzi on social media, no matter how close you are to that person. So to filter all these platforms and everything that social media offers, it goes again, who mentors you, who shapes your decision making. We again, I'll re-emphasize, I like the fact that you said you are privileged, your parents were the environment for you to grow. How many other young people have got that blessing? So when we look at it from a blanket point of view, really, can we stand and say, true social media has a positive impact on the young people in our country? Thank you.
Sure. Based on the examples that she has mentioned, what's your view on that?
Just to say, like, for TikTok, I'm on TikTok. I know a lot of people, South African youth people, actually, they have like a source of income from TikTok. They utilizing their social media to get income for themselves and to help their families. It's not just something that you can do. It takes a lot of time, just as running a normal business. It's like creating a profile for yourself to get people to know who you are and for people to support you. And I know it takes a lot of time just to like gain that following, just as it does for a normal business. And because it's a lot of, they know their target market is on TikTok and it's on social media, they're using that to their advantage to make a living for themselves. So TikTok is a good thing in itself because it generates some income for young people. I wouldn't know because I haven't checked the facts, but I know a lot of South African influencers, we call them influencers, are generating income from TikTok. But if you want to talk about unemployment as a whole in South Africa, you can't blame that on social media. You blame that on the government because our unemployment is skyrocketing at the moment, and it's still going to continue because our economy is not as at a scale where it should be for us to, you know, to be able to know, okay, after I graduate, I'm going to get a job, because there are a lot of youth who have those degrees, but they're not getting jobs because there aren't any jobs available. So they use social media as a way to help them get that income.
I appreciate the point that you are raising. But now, without us deviating from the topic of social media impact on the young people, the youth, when you say there's people who make business platform, we need to zoom into the youth. Of those influencers, how many are young people and how many have made a positive impact to the other young peoples?
Well, the ones that I follow are more or less my age or 2 years older. And I know like they started with a small following and their following grew because they put in the hard work. And there are a lot of campaigns on TikTok to reaching out to the youth to help them. But it's hard because there is like a lot of youth that are in the rural areas that don't have like access to these things, or they haven't been like taught how to utilize these devices and these different networks. So yeah, it's a complex thing. We can't unpack everything because there are layers and layers of different topics that align with social media in itself.
Yeah. From my side, when it comes to my career, my business, when it comes to purpose, because the first time I spoke about purpose. Back in the days, still staying in Butterworth, a small town with no resources to access internet, I found a way. I made sure that I found a way. So I was just fumbling like any other young person. I was just fumbling. I didn't know my purpose. I was just there. I was just going to school each and every day, come back from school, go to school. So through social media, I saw this guy. This guy was driving big cars, was very young, a 22-year-old. Okay, what's going on? I followed this guy. I saw, no, this guy, man, is doing business. He's doing this thing. I think it was forex trading at that time. Then I told myself, if this guy, as young as he is, he can be successful, then it's possible for me as well. So that's where I started loving business. I started loving business. I fell in love with business. I knew that this is my purpose. Now this is my purpose. And through that, I was selling vegetables on the streets. As young as I was that time, I think I was in grade 11. I was selling vegetables. People were laughing at me. No one wanted to be associated with me. But because of that guy I saw on social media, I saw that this guy is confident in what he's doing. He's confident and he has been patient with himself, regardless of what other people say. So even that for me, I was doing business. And then I think last year, I came across this guy, a 24-year-old property investor. Just imagine. I was shocked. A 24-year-old investor. He was promoting his business on Facebook. So I contacted this guy. I inboxed the guy. I spoke with him. Okay, you are doing this, you are doing that. And he said, I said, this is what I've been wanting to do. This is my purpose. I want you to take me to my purpose. And he said, give me 7,000 rands. I will show you. And because of the credibility he had a website, he had everything. So I saw that this guy is a real deal. People, they really commend this guy. This guy is not like these Bitcoin scammers. So I spoke with this guy. He said, I said, I want you to mentor me. He said, it's 7,000 rands. And I've seen other mentors who are doing the same thing. People were paying like 30,000 rands, huge amounts of money. So this guy said, I made a deal with him. I found a way. I said, no, I will bring another guy. Then you will charge us 5,000 rands. We will pay it in a 2-month period. So he agreed to that. I managed to raise that 2.5. The other guy managed to raise that 2.5 as well. So it's when it comes to business, even my business, I advertise my businesses on social media. And I get leads. I get people who want to work with me. I get investors who want to work with me through social media. So it's entirely up to one to make a decision that I'm going to use this as a form to advance my business, to advance my life. Even when it comes to emotional health, some other people, they go to social media to run away from their pain, to run away from their sorrows, rather than going to the bottle store and drinking, using drugs. But they go to social media for entertainment. Like TikTok, people on TikTok, they're making jokes, they're doing those funny videos, just so that people can forget their stress.
Okay, let me just come to the point that you just raised. Ne?
Right.
Okay, there are people who are making business, ne?
Yeah.
For real, they are making business.
Yes.
But there are those who are scamming people each and every day.
Yes.
When I firstly entered the social media, I don't know when, but it was back in, I don't know when, but it was a long time back. This woman came to my inbox and said, okay, I live in Senegal and what. She told me the real story. I need you to invest the money. Unfortunately, because I was still a student, I didn't have that kind of money. If I invested, my money was going to be lost. But there are those who are using, I mean, I can take risk
Yeah.
in life just to invest, just to pursue my dream, but you can find that is a scam. So how am I going to pursue my life together on, or to trust the system if I was being scammed?
I think that one, as I've said, that it's entirely up to their credibility. You must make sure that you do your due diligence, just as you do in each and every business venture, or when you're looking for a job, you do your own due diligence. You research whether this person is credible or not. The point of reference is, who has been helped by this person before? Can you trust that person? So it's entirely up to you.
Okay, just to back on that point, ne? Those people, I'm 100% sure that they do their homework. They do their homework. When they approach you, they can come with the full force, and you believe them that these people are real. So you will believe them and you will invest in them. Just because you trusted them, you trusted their system. You see. So that's why I'm saying that these people, when they do the scam, they do their homework. And once you make the payments, they are gone. You will never find them.
In simple terms, basically, you do not.
Sorry, guys, just to cut you guys, we're left with 5 minutes. So I'm just going to allow you guys to bicker a bit. And then after that, I have to shut it down.
Okay. So basically, what he's saying is that in this world we're living in, we do not know who to trust. Everyone is an enemy unless proven otherwise.
Okay.
So we cannot afford to take that risk, especially though, as much as there are those people with minds of like go big or go home. You may be lucky once, you may not be lucky again. Everything can vanish within a blink of an eye.
Sure.
Who knows what might happen next? It's hard. It's hard to go from rock bottom straight up. It is a hard process to do. It is a hard process to deal with after what has transpired in terms, whether it's business wise, whether it's emotional wise. People trying to make a living through social media, and as much as people want to express themselves to the world in as who they are, and what the purpose when it comes to that platform is. In the end, we all walk alone in this. We came alone, we will walk alone. In the end, those people will not care about you as much as they can support you. Those people all over around the world have their own lives to live with and their whole problems to solve. Who knows what might happen to you? That is a risk I personally cannot take when it comes to social media.
Okay. All right. It goes back to what we've said, that it's all about choice. He chose to follow the guy. And he made his homework. He had to search the guy. And it is in his advantage that now he is in business. You see, it's all about choices. Even now in this room, it's someone who is close who came walking here. We came through taxis. Some of us were driving. But if you can look on the statistics of accidents on the road, they are very high. But we choose to ride those cars, to drive those cars, in spite of the accidents that are happening. But we are driving the cars, we are keep on buying the cars, though we know that someday they might kill us because of someone was reckless, was driving reckless, he was under influence, you see. But we choose to focus on the positive side, that in order for me to make time in Southernwood, I have to drive because a taxi will take me long, you see. But on the road, you know that there are people, you might meet people who are under influence. So it's all about choice. You choose to. Even if you have invested in that guy who was doing that, it was going to be your choice. But unfortunately, you didn't have money. But if you had money, you would choose to follow the guy. It's all about choice. You choose to do things.
Amen.
Thank you.
Sure. Such powerful points mentioned in this platform, but we are still unsure is it really a matter of choice, or is social media, does social media have an positive or negative impact on the things that we've just discussed and on the youth? But we are going to have this discussion. I'm not sure when, but we're gonna continue with the impacts on social media on the youth, and to just really just stretch our minds on how this actually impacts our youth. Until next time, next week actually, we have our youth service right here at 3 p.m. Catch us next week live. We love you. Bye.
Bye.